Oh hey, we're back. Long time ago, few you mentioned that you actually wouldn't mind listening to me ramble on the character building screen for this game and just talk about all the random little things. And I had recorded a good chunk of that, and I actually had part one basically ready. And I hadn't gotten around to finishing recording part two and all this stuff and the yada yada yada, and then I was like, okay, well, whatever, like, I'll just post it up after the LP is over and all that. And then we had our external hard drive failures, so that's all gone. We need to record it again, so let's go. I felt like doing that today. Part one is going to be me talking about all the little items and all that stuff. We'll talk about all the different classes and what they get to do in part two. So if you're looking for that and you don't want to hear me ramble about things like gift and like what kind of face you can have and that kind of stuff, then perhaps you should go around to part two, assuming it's up. I will certainly link it once it is up from this video. Anyway, we'll start from the top here. We'll start with warrior. Gift. Alright, let's talk about these gifts. Alright, so we have the Goddess's Blessing. Divine Holy Water fully restores HP and your status, meaning, I guess, like if you're poisoned. Black Firebomb. It explodes. It's explodable, throwable. Don't know why you would pick this. I don't know. To be a goof, I guess. Twin Humanities. Sure. I like that it specifies that it is sometimes found on carcasses. Not even corpses, just carcasses. Wow, thanks. Binocs. This is one of those, this is kind of trolly to me that they offer you the Binocs because, like, I think it's fine to offer you the Master Key from the beginning, even though you can buy the Master Key later. I think that's fine, like, in case you don't want to play as a thief. If you play as a thief, you get the Master Key by default, by the way. We'll talk about that when we're talking about the thief class, but, you get that by default. Well, what if you don't want to play a thief, but you want to have the Master Key from the beginning because you want to, like, sequence break real hard? You want to, like, go for, like, the more difficult, you just want to beeline as hard as you can towards the ending or whatever you're doing, speedruns. That's fine. But binoculars, like, the binoculars are at Fire Lake. They're in the graveyard. Like, they're right there. It's kind of lame. And because they're totally something that sound really helpful, like, utility-wise. So you might pick them. Pendant. Okay, this is the real troll. This is the real troll item. So, trinket. No effect, but fond memories comfort travelers. This item literally does nothing. Nothing. And Miyazaki himself got a good chuckle. He was asked in an interview at one time, "Hey, Miyazaki-san, what's your favorite gift? Like, what gift would you choose when making a character?" And he was like, "Oh, the pendant is my favorite." And everybody proceeded to just rip this game apart, trying to figure out what the pendant did. It does nothing. It literally does nothing. It is just a pendant. If you wanna have some headcanon for your character, you can put on this pendant. That's what this pendant is for. It's for your own personal fiction. Master Key opens any basic lock. So basically any door that isn't like a special door that doesn't need like a very specific, thing to like open it, you can basically open everything. So essentially, if you have the Master Key, you can immediately go to Blighttown. So there's that door, like you go down into the New Londo ruins, and then you climb back up, and there's that gate door that opens into the Valley of the Drakes, but like right across, if you just cross over and ignore the valley, you could just go right into like into Blighttown. that place where like you open up a shortcut to get to Blighttown, essentially, where you climb up out of the depths of Blighttown to create a shortcut back up to Fairlight. Yeah, you can just open that from the very beginning of the game and just, like, beeline for Quelaag. No joke. You can basically skip, like, half the game, essentially. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but that's what it feels like. If you, not half the game, half of Blighttown. More than half of Blighttown, arguably. Alright, Tiny Beings rings. Special tribal ring. Question mark. I don't know why it's considered that, but okay. Grant small increase to HP. Yeah, that's all it does. This ring is in later games is renamed to the Life Ring. They renamed it. I'm not sure what they mean by tiny being. I don't know if that's meant to be like a reference to some particular creature or character, but who knows. And then, of course, Siegfrau's gift, the Old Witch's Ring. Gift from a witch. Ancient ring with no obvious effect. So this was one of those things where it's like, huh, what does this ring do? Well, it does do something. It allows you to speak with the fair lady in Blighttown. Otherwise, you can still talk to her, but she says nothing. Like, it's just ellipses from her. You can talk to her, you can start the covenant with her, you can do everything you would normally be able to do. You know, you're not blocked off from anything, but with the Old Witch's Ring, it allows you to actually have a conversation with her. We'll put the pendant on for everybody. Why not? Let's just put the pendant on for everybody. Physique. Da, 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 da. Top heavy, tiny head. Large head could be very intellectual. What? Proportionately small head. Okay. You can go for the thick lower half, you can go for a thicker upper half, you could just be thick all around, you can be a little thick, you can be very slim, or slim. There's your, like, skinnier characters, and then there's average. I think we just rolled with average for Siegfrau, but, yeah. You know, it's not perfect, but at least you get some variety here. Let's see here. We'll just pick average. Actually, no. You know what? For funsies, let's do different things. For warrior, we're gonna be beefy. Face. All right. Here we go. Let's talk about the faces. Which, okay. They just wanted to create some, like, presets for you to choose from and kind of try to set a little lore behind it, yada yada. At the end of the day, it comes off maybe, well, a little not great. I don't know. It's not perfect. It's really clear. Anyway, commoner, very average commoner face, plain face. Delta farmer, which I think we went for with Siegfrau because that's what I had made her. I made Beta Siegfrau. I basically tried to recreate Beta Siegfrau. So we didn't go too far off from her original look. We never hear about the Five-Finger Delta except for here. That's it. I don't think it ever comes up in any other flavor text ever. ever. Which honestly, it's a very slightly tweaked commoner face. The commoner face is a little more serious. This is maybe a little softer, rosier, and the skin tone's ever so slightly darker. Astora royalty. Oh, pale as fuck. Beautiful face of the refined common in Astora. So, Oscar was from Astora, Solaire was from Astora. Astora comes up a lot in Dark Souls. It's basically like big Heroville. lots of hero types come out of Astora. It's clearly like it was a pretty grand place when it was, you know, in its prime, I guess. This is quote-unquote royalty, so, like, whatever. They just wanted to have, you know, a pale-faced royal sort of thing. Dragon Scholar! Look at that. So we go from, kind of, you know, cheerful, a bit more, it says refined. It doesn't look too stuck up or anything, like, stereotypically stuck up. Just very, you know, features are a bit sharper, but not too intense. Dragon Scholar. Intelligent, sharp lines, but scholarly looks invite insult. Sup, nerds? Like, that's literally what this is saying. It's basically like, you're a nerd, look at you, nerd. Like, what? Based on what we know, the Dragon Scholar title refers to Vinheim, which is where all the big fancy sorcerer types come from, like Griggs and Big Hat Logan. So yeah, I like how your eyebrows. I like the eyebrows on this one. That's kind of fun. Thoroughland Cleric. So of course Rhea of Thoroughland, haircut, the scum known as Petrus, and then Vincent Eagle, all those types. Definitely from Thoroughland. Seems like Anastasia, the Firekeeper, may have originally been from Thoroughland, based on her robes. Seems like she may have originally come from Thoroughland. Look common in Thoroughland, known for its stalwart clerics. Religiousville. Clerics everywhere, the way of white everywhere. Religion rules the day in Thoroughland. Alright, Jubilant Catarina. Now you see what I was like tiptoeing around earlier. Honestly, this face isn't so terrible. Like, at least they tried. But I can't sparkly wrap it, sugarcoat it up. Like, it's not perfect. It needs work. Definitely needs work. But you know, I'm like, they got better at that, didn't they? Did they? Maybe sort of. I kind of remember Bloodborne being okay about it. Maybe I'm misremembering. Bloodborne, it was the game where they finally really opened up all the skin tones, though, for sure. I do appreciate that it's a extremely positive description, and also that it's specifically Catarina, which is one of the most famous locations and home to some very well-loved characters. So I can appreciate that aspect of it very much. Here you go. This is why I bring up, I'm so glad that this is such a positive description. Because here we have dubious Kareem. They're straight out saying that, like, yeah, you from Kareem, you a shit. Fuck you, man. It's like, jeez. Ominous features. Ominous? What? Associated with the Earl of Kareem. Okay. So there's a little bit more clarification there. Not that if you're from Kareem, you're a shit. But this is a look similar to that of the infamous Earl of Kareem, who made all the bite rings. We haven't talked about one of those. Like, if you just came off the LP, it's been a while since we encountered one of those. But essentially, it's implied that the bite rings were created in a possibly a not so nice way. There's some sketchy science behind them, so the Earl of Kareem is considered to be a bit of a shit. And then, you know, of course we have Lautrec of Kareem, who ends up being kind of a shit, to say the least. Classic Xena. Now, Xena... Does Xena come up past Dark Souls 1? I'm blanking. I can't remember. Now, Domhnall, might, you know, Mr. Welshman there, he's from Xena. Thoughtful, mature face, common in historical Xena. So they seem to be collectors out in Xena. Has a very particular nose, like some of the others do, and, yeah, you know, it's alright. You know, not much to say about this face. Eerie Great Swamp. Okay, guys, why did you do this? Great Swamp heretics face prejudice for their atypical looks. Okay, Laurentius is from the Great Swamp. A lot of famous pyromancers come from the Great. The Great Swamp's like where you go to like, you know, learn your big pyromancies in this game. That's like where, you know, pyromancy's been developed, I guess, you could say. And we played a Siegfrau as a pyromancer, or she was. Siegfrau the First was a pyromancer in our playthrough. Far East Traveler. Face from a distant eastern land of almond eyes and thin lips. I don't need to talk about that. I don't need to explain. This is fine. Like, it's not, this is like, it's like Jubilant Catarina. Like, it could be a lot more not great. It's okay. It's okay. They tried. So there you have, there's your quote-unquote, you know, Eastern face. Like Shiva of the East. Remember, there are some characters, Shiva of the East and his bodyguard, presumably both come from, quote-unquote, the East. There will be some more, in Dark Souls 2, there will be some more characters from an Eastern land. They get a little more into it. The character's super awesome. There's actual, like, lasting impact on the world from this character. You know, they're not just like a little aside. So, you know, that's nice. But anyway, yeah, so there you have it. There's our... They tried. Okay, I totally forgot that there are descriptions for all of the hairstyles, so we need to talk about this. Cleanly shaved bald head. Masculine hairstyle, clipped short. So that was the very short style. Wave, wildly curled short hair. Straight A, squarely chopped straight hair with bangs. Straight B, squarely chopped straight hair with bangs parted. Ponytail A, long hair pulled back and bound with bangs. Ponytail B, long hair and bangs pulled back and bound. Pigtails, long hair bound on both sides. Bun, long hair bound loosely. Braided, long braided hair as the old nobility. I wonder if this is Rhea's hairstyle then. I feel like the remaster shows like the poor hair parts off way more, but maybe I'm wrong. No, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Wild. Look at this. It's wild. A ponytail swept back. Never played as a dude in here. Oh, like you can be haircut. Cleanly shaved bald head. Rough warrior hair shows age. Clipped short with a slight wave. Swept back. Long hair pulled back. Long hair pulled back and bound. Natural long hair, accented by sweat. Neatly kept hair, common for youth. Neatly kept hair, slightly long. Sharply curled hair, cut short. Neatly trimmed as the old nobility. Oh yeah, and the eye colors, some of them have references to places. Black hair / eyes, basic color. Dark brown hair and eyes, basic color. Light brown hair and eyes, basic color. Dark hair, basic. Dark blue / hair, common in Korean. Apparently having, hang on, let's actually put some hair on. Huh, dark blue, yeah, common in Korean. Gray hair and eyes, common in Northern Catarina. Interesting, I ended up just by virtue of like going down the line, you'll see in the classes video that I ended up with gray hair on our Catarina character. Gold beloved hair and eyes, beloved by certain members of nobility. Silver hair and eyes, considered antiquated in these times. The heck does that even mean? What does that even mean? I like the silver hair. I mean, the gray is good too. It's a little bit darker. I believe my Velka rapier run had the silver hair, actually. A dark purple. Rare color of a near extinct race. again, what does that even mean? Red, very rare hair color. The burning red hair, not the dark red. Dark red is basic. Yeah, that's your auburn. But burning red is very rare. From here, I'm going to start talking about the classes and how they all work in this game, like what level they start at. You'll notice very quickly that they do, part of why I always like to choose Pyromancer is not just my affinity for Pyromancy and Pyromancers and how much I love them, but also because you start at Soul level 1. It gives you the most space to build your character how you want to. And the different classes all start at different Souls levels. So, we'll be talking about that in the next video. So I have rambled my bit about what I'm going to ramble about in this part. I just wanted to talk about the gifts and facial feature choices, your facial presets a little bit first, and in the next video we're gonna get deeper into, hey, how do each of these different classes play? Obviously, it's just going to be from the beginning of the game, just seeing, you can see here, oh, we'll be starting with a sword and shield as this type. Just so you can kind of see, what's your starting point with each of these characters? And, what these classes could help you, if you aren't so keen, if you're like, I know exactly what I want to do, you may be able to choose one of these to then buff up to where you want it to be. Like, if there's one that already has a starting point that you like, that's what we're gonna be talking about. So I will see you all in part 2 very soon. Thank you for watching, and I will make sure, I will definitely link in the outro once it's up, and also in the description the next part, and it'll be in the Finest a Soup playlist and all that kind of stuff. So I'll see you all again soon.